the Paddock Mall Studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock, before there was this thing called the internet, Robin.
Uh-huh.
The way I learned about the world out there was with National Geographic magazine.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I think we all did. We always knew somebody. In my case, it was my uncle that subscribed to the magazine. You could go to my uncle's house, and he had shelves full of these yellow books.
Yeah, weren't they wonderful?
And if you were the inquisitive kind of a kid, which I was, you would pull down one of the magazines just at random. It didn't matter how far back in time it went, and you would look at the cover or at the table of contents. What does this one have articles about? And then you would open up to that page, and it wasn't just writing. There were these amazing photographs.
Yeah.
I don't know how it came to be that they developed a relationship for a reputation is what I mean for themselves as being one of the best photo magazines ever, and they have evolved since then. There is a book I want you to know about called Spectacle. If you're looking for a gift for somebody, this is good for anybody. Let's see. I'm looking at the inside flap. It says it sells for $40, which is an amazing deal. Books this size usually sell for $60 or $70.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Mark Thiessen is an award-winning National Geographic photographer and the spokesperson for National Geographic's Spectacle. Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
My gosh, I'm good. Where are you right now?
I'm in our headquarters at National Geographic in Washington, D.C.
Thank you for being on. This is an amazing book, and I want to say something. I was told one time that if you say to a photographer, you must have a great camera, it's like saying to a cook, you must have a great oven.
Yeah.
Right? You've heard that before, right?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny that you say that. There's a story that I tell where Yo-Yo Ma, who the famous cellist, had just finished a wonderful performance, and afterwards, a person in the audience comes up to him and says, "Yo-Yo Ma, that was such a beautiful music. You must have a wonderful cello. It plays such great music." And then he turns to it, sitting there on the chair, and he says, "Funny, I don't hear it playing any music."
Oh, that's a classic story.
Oh, my God.
That is great.
So how do you guys at National Geographic get the best of the best in photography? How do you do that?
Well, a lot of it is dogged determination. And a lot of it is, so this book is full of pictures from our archive, from our magazine assignments. And we get the best pictures because we put the most time in than any other magazine, and we spend the most money per story than any other magazine. So we're able to bring our readers pictures that they're just not going to find anyplace else.
I mean, there's a picture here. I just turned to one as a cobra swimming through the water, looking right at the camera. Where was that photographer right then? Oh, my gosh. He must have been... How could we even get that picture? I don't even know.
Yeah, that was Matthias Klum, and he did a story on cobras, and he used his flash, and I think he might have had his camera on a stick that he was putting very close to the cobra to get that shot.
So when we see the photographs, the narrative is also written by the photographers?
So there are captions that are written by I think there's some writers here at National Geographic that took the photographers' captions and condensed it and made it a little better. There's not much text in this book. I wrote the foreword, but most of this book is all pictures. 99% of it is just pictures wall to wall. It's a very heavy book. It's in the tradition of National Geographic coffee table photo books. There's over 200 pictures in this book, and each one is a spectacular moment in time.
Oh, something interesting about yourself. You're also a certified wildland firefighter, so that must put you into the thick of those wildfires where you feel maybe you might not come out alive.
Well, you don't want to take too much risk, or there's no future in it. But for the most part, Yes, back in 20 years ago, I went through fire school, wildland fire school, not so that I could be a firefighter, but so that I could get better access.
Is that right?
And over the years, I've developed a sense of trust with wildland firefighters that I've worked with over the years, and they know I'm not going to be a liability because they've all had bad experiences with the media, and they don't consider me media. They consider me one of them. That allows me to get the access to bring you pictures like that are in this book, or be right there in the moment. There's one on page 374 that I've photographed in Seeley Lake, Montana, and I'm in the passenger seat of a pickup, and we're driving through the forest, and it's on fire. There's fire out the front windshield, there's fire out the side windshield, there's fire in the rearview mirror. And to get this picture, it was a story I did for the magazine. I spent 6 weeks in the Pacific Northwest, and only 5 nights I stayed at hotels. The rest were in my tent at fire camps throughout Idaho and Montana and Washington and Oregon. And this picture was the result of a backfire that backfired. So to contain this fire, they fight fire with fire. They set fire along the road, and then the main fire sucks it in. And so you're robbing that main fire of fuel. But what happened, it was all going great. It was going fabulous. And it was about 2 miles of this. And then all of a sudden the wind shifted unexpectedly and dropped embers over our heads into the green side of the road.
Wow.
And next thing you know, there's fire there. So he evacuated, the division supervisor who I'm with, he evacuated all his people out. It's a very dangerous situation when you have fire on both sides of you. We hopped in his vehicle and took off through walls of smoke and flames, and I'm taking pictures like crazy because I never know what's going to happen next. And the result is a picture like this. And this book is full of these moments where light and composition all came together at the right time.
I have a question as a photographer. I don't mean I'm one. I mean, I'm just asking you. I'm just curious about the colors. Are they adjusted in any way? I mean, the colors are so vibrant in here.
No, not really. I mean, but that brings up a point. They're just adjusted so that they print well on a printing press, where they're using only 4 colors, right? Cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, and the printing press is going 50 miles an hour and putting ink down on paper that quick. So they do adjust it. But that brings up a point that I wanted to talk about, is that before there was Photoshop, National Geographic made its hallmark was wonderful photographs.
Right.
And these days, a lot of amateurs and a lot of people are photoshopping their pictures. And we want you to know, when you look at National Geographic magazine or any of our books,
really?
These pictures are real.
It's not Photoshopped.
These pictures are real. I'm not adding flames to the scene. These are authentic, real pictures as the photographer saw it.
This is like Josh Groban telling us he is not auto-tuned.
Yeah, right. You have the starfish picture is really wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
With the jellyfish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And there's so many wonderful pictures in this book, It's divided up into these 4 chapters: chaos, surprise, beauty, and awe.
Oh, the surprise chapter is so amazing, by the way. I love that chapter.
Yeah. So there's a picture in there by Joel Sartori on page 161 of a mountain goat. And this one is just amazing to me. It's a mountain goat on a cliff, stretching its body from one vertical piece of rock to another vertical piece of rock, licking some salt. And it's in a very precarious position. It looks impossible to do that. And what's interesting is it's juxtaposed on the left page with someone on a skateboard jumping over a building. And
Robin's turning to it right now.
It's this pairing of pictures that our editors have brought extra meaning to these pictures in this book.
I think it's really amazing. Absolutely amazing.
We do a streaming video while we're talking to you, and I said, Robin just opened to the 2 pages. Look at that goat. Did he live? Did the goat live
Just to get some salt.
Oh my gosh! You see, we take salt for granted. We don't realize how hard that was at one time.
I love the picture of the seal going through the circle of fish.
Oh,
I think that's really outstanding.
Do you know, the reason I was asking about the color, I wanted to tell you this, is because there was, and I didn't think it was fake, by the way. I just honestly thought this is real, but I wanted you to say so. I can't remember what section it was, but it was the picture that introduces you to a certain section that shows hills that are purple and green and everything. It almost looks like an artist who just took liberties with his paint. You know, and that's all real, right? Wherever that was, and I can't remember what page it might have been on, but do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yes, I do. That introduces the section on surprise. And it is a field of wildflowers in bloom. And that is just spectacular. And, if you're using a polarizing filter, that will help punch those colors a little bit, because then they're not reflecting that blue sky that you see in that picture.
Uh-huh.
And it's not just a field of wildflowers; it's hills of wildflowers, all different colors. It looks otherwhistley. It looks like a winter wonderland, or a spring wonderland.
It looks like an artist decided, who cares about green? We'll just make it all kinds of colors. Oh my gosh! I had something I want to tell you. Now I've just drawn a blank.
And they've got the close-ups of the polar bears. And I mean, how far away was that photographer to get the polar bear's face right up into the camera?
So that picture was taken with a remote camera. And that camera, and one of our stock and trades are what we call camera traps, where we, instead of a real trap that would capture an animal, we will put a camera in a weatherproof housing, sometimes disguise it, and this one was on a little boat. That was disguised as an iceberg. And it's a remote camera, and you can tell that it's this wide-angle perspective where you're just right up there in the polar bear's face that you could not get any other way.
Do you think that polar bear was being curious and trying to figure out what the heck that thing was?
Yeah, probably. And the photographer was probably in a boat, 100 feet away, a motorboat, and controlling it by remote control and shooting a whole bunch of pictures. And the polar bears are very curious, and that's how you get a picture like this.
By the way, I did this. Can I tell you about the time I did this? Okay. My son is now 32. How old is Alex? 32?
Yeah.
32. Okay. So when he was a little guy, maybe 6, I guess, we had a cat, which is really not... It is part of the story, but it wasn't supposed to be. So we had this cat, and we had outside. We had a pallet, like somebody had dropped off stuff and left the pallet, and I had a Polaroid camera with a remote control, a radio-controlled remote control. So I said to Alex, my son, I said, let's set this up with some bait, and we'll get a close-up picture of a squirrel. Right? So we put some food out there for a squirrel to come get. We weren't going to hurt the squirrel anyway. Just take a picture of it really close. So we laid down on his bed, and we looked out his window, and we waited for an animal, and it was our cat. We didn't get the squirrel. We got the cat.
Some of the cultures that you have photographed in the book that can't be planned, like something like that, with their hairdos and their different kinds of regimentations that they do.
Yeah, some of their different rituals, cultural rituals. This book has got, it takes you places. This is a book that you can escape with. It makes a great holiday gift.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Wherever books are sold, and you can just sit on a winter day and just open the pages and escape into this world that this book brings to you. Wow.
This book is currently #1, by the way, on Amazon. As I said, it sells for $40 according to the thing. But look at this. You can get it on Amazon for like $22. Wow. You guys are giving it away, aren't you? Do you sell it on the National Geographic website?
And it is also available on the National Geographic website at nationalgeographic.com.
Okay.
I like the fact you have a picture of boats in the sand.
You like boats?
Yeah, but that was the part where the narrative says that this was they were there before the recession of the Aral Sea, and then you've got people walking there. I have never seen that before.
So what happens when, and that's what we want to do. We want to bring you pictures that you've never seen before. And that's what happens when an inland sea recedes, and what happens to all the boats that are there.
Yeah, because they're all rusting, and it's like they found their home there, and the country is just leaving them there.
Yep, because it's too hard to, how are you going to move them? How are you going to get any heavy equipment through all that sand to move them? That's quite a task.
Let me put that
but it makes a spectacular picture.
Yeah,
exactly. It's absolutely amazing.
I have another photography question. Okay, we were watching a National Geographic special, and it was this island. Hold on, let me get the picture of the ships. That is amazing, that picture, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Can we see that from Google Earth?
You probably could if you searched up the Aral Sea and the resolution of the satellite was sufficient. Yeah.
All right, so let me tell you about this TV. We're watching a TV show. And the TV show, oops, I put the wrong picture. We want to put the picture of the book. It's called Spectacle, by the way, if you're just tuning in. So we're watching this TV show. It's a National Geographic show, and it's some place where these lizards live. And the lizards they are born because the mama lizard lays the egg in the sand. And when the lizard is hatched, it has to run across the sand to get to safety because guess what's coming? Snakes are coming.
Yeah.
All right. So I thought, well, why did God do this? Why didn't God tell the mother, lay the egg somewhere else? but she always lays the eggs where the snakes are. Okay. So as soon as the baby's born, it runs and it knows. I mean, it isn't even a minute old, and it knows to run away from snakes. Can you imagine being born and having that instinct? All right. But the photography... It was as if the photographer was riding, I don't know, maybe it's a drone or something, but they're right behind the snake. So you see the back of the head of the snake, and you see the lizard, and it's chasing. How do you guys do that? Am I guessing right? It was a drone?
It wasn't a drone. It was probably a camera, just like that cobra. There was a camera on some sort of a pole that they had behind the snake, so they could get that viewpoint.
Oh my gosh!
And still be safe.
Incredible
and
what you do.
It takes many times. It's not just once. It's not they just go out one day and go, "Hey, we're going to get this shot and be done." It was probably weeks and weeks of waiting for that moment to happen, waiting for those eggs to hatch, and several days of shooting that kind of stuff.
And you also have a local picture from St. Petersburg, Florida, of young ballerinas. That is so pretty.
Let me see.
In front of the makeup mirror.
Oh yeah, that is pretty. Yeah, look at those pastel what do you call skirts?
Yeah.
Pastel skirts.
Yeah.
We actually have. We're very proud of one of our citizens in the city. Is it Mark Emery, Robin? Mark?
Yes.
Mark Emery.
Uh-huh.
Do you know Mark? He's a photographer for National Geographic, and he's a Facebook friend.
Yeah, he does videography, I think.
Yes, he does.
Yes, and I think he's one of my Facebook friends, ironically.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We have to leave.
He does a lot of work up in Alaska.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and I guess the takeaway we have from knowing him, and it's a casual acquaintance, we don't go have coffee with him or anything. Mark, if you're listening, I don't know why we don't have coffee with him.
He's never here. He's always out on the site.
But one of the things we take away is what you just said, is that you have to set up and wait. You have to be super patient for some of these things to happen, don't you?
Oh yes, you have to be patient. It's dogged determination.
Mark, we have to go. Your publicist wants us to wrap it up, so we have to go. Thank you so much for being on the air with us. The book is called Spectacle. You can get it at nationalgeographic.com. I also found it on amazon.com. Mark Thiessen, thank you so much. That was awesome. It was a great book.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you. All right, we'll be right back.
Friday will be breezy with times of clouds and sun. Look for a shower and thunderstorm around during the afternoon hours. The high temperature in the 80s. But Friday night, mostly cloudy with some showers and a thunderstorm. Will drop to the lower 50s in the northernmost part of the zone, mid to upper 60s in the southeast. For Saturday, a cooler, less humid day with some sun. The highs in the mid to upper 70s. Sunday, more clouds and sun with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm. High 80 to 84. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
I'm Keith Perry. Lots of people run for office and tell you how great they are. They talk at you or down to you. That's not me. I'm a roofer by trade, and as a young man started my business with an ethic of fairness and hard work, and the common sense to get the job done right. That was 40 years ago. Now Perry Roofing employs more than 100 people I'm proud to know and work with. I'm Keith Perry. I've got the common sense and determination to make Tallahassee work for you.
Paid for by Keith Perry, Republican, for Florida Senate.
Tired of looking at stained carpets, dirty tile, or grout? Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Make your flooring look great again. Stains, pet odors, allergies. Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. From serving our country to serving our community. Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Residential and commercial. Their work is guaranteed along with your satisfaction. Check their website, silverbackrestoration.com.
With a graduate degree in management and leadership from Webster University, there'll never be a better time for you to explore what's next in your career. Classes are scheduled so you can continue your normal workday routine, and the accelerated program means a new term starts about every 10 weeks. If you're looking to gain a broad general management and leadership perspective, then Webster University's Management and Leadership degree program is the right one for you. It's all a part of what's next at Webster University.
Go to webster.edu/manage, accredited by ACBSP.
Direct Connect to UCF, where students who attend the College of Central Florida and graduate with an AA or articulated AS degree are guaranteed admission to the University of Central Florida. Success coaches are ready and waiting to assist you in designing an educational plan that is right for you in any of their locations across Central Florida. Remember, connecting is easy and guaranteed. Find out more at directconnect2ucf.com.
Tired of looking at stained carpets, dirty tile, or grout? Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Make your flooring look great again. Stains, pet odors, allergies. Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. From serving our country to serving our community. Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Residential and commercial. Their work is guaranteed along with your satisfaction. Check their website, silverbackrestoration.com.
AccuSleep offers a safe and effective medical option for those who suffer from sleep disorders of all kinds. AccuSleep makes restoring healthy sleep patterns possible. No medication, no surgery, just good sound sleep. Mend your sleep so you can stop counting sheep. Experience restorative sleep at AccuSleep, the acupuncture sleep clinic in Ocala by calling 352-615-5566.
May this Christmas be your brightest yet. May it bring you and the ones you love music, joy, and laughter. And fill your hearts with wonderful memories to share. From my Dollywood family to yours, we wish you happiness and joy this Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Plan your holiday getaway today. Visit Dollywood.com to start planning.
WOCA gets results.
Hi, this is Leah Caruso with Strive Physical Therapy Centers. One of the things that Strive does is we try to track how people learn about us and what they hear in the community about us. So that's one of our questions. And a lot of times they said they've heard us on the radio or they heard something on the radio that really touched them or a member of their family. WOCA has been extremely helpful in Strive's goals to educate the community.
WOCA gets results.
Attention WOCA listeners. Do you or someone you know have an outgoing personality with great organizational skills? Well, WOCA is looking for a few good people to join our marketing reps team. You get to meet other great people and business leaders in our community. WOCA Radio offers flexible schedules, great income potential, and some really great fringe benefits too. So if you enjoy talking to people and getting paid to do it, this may be the right choice for you. Apply within or send your resumes to careers@WOCA.com. Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump tweets about the latest labor report. These are incredible numbers. Keep it going. Vote Republican.
The October jobs report shows the 250,000 jobs were added during the month. That's more than expected. Plus, wages rose at the fastest pace in 9 years, and the unemployment rate held steady at 3.7%.
Fox's Carol Zimmer. A convicted murderer gets the electric chair in Tennessee.
64-year-old Edmund Zagorski grimaced, waved goodbye, and said, "Let's rock." That was his final act before becoming the first man to be executed in the electric chair in Tennessee since 2007. His attorney smiled at him from the witness room and said her client had told her the last thing he wanted to see was her smiling face before the shroud was put over his head.
Fox's Tanya J. Power. Zagorski killed and robbed 2 men during a bogus drug deal in 1983. This is Fox News.
Indeed knows finding the right hire takes time away from your business.
Hiring a qualified data engineer felt like a second job.
More job seekers use Indeed than any other site, so there's no better place to find someone with the skills you're looking for.
I needed someone with a master's in computer science and database experience.
Plus, Indeed screener questions help you find your shortlist fast.
Now I'm back to having just one job.
See why more than 3 million companies worldwide use Indeed to hire. Post your job at Indeed.com/hire. Indeed.